Everyone, distinguished guests, scholars, students, and esteemed colleagues from around the world. Namaste, and a very warm welcome to the International Conference on First Steps Towards a World-Class University. My name is Rajiv Subba, a proud member of Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology, and I am deeply honored to serve as your host for this meaningful event. Alongside my co-host, Dr. Anupama Shrestha, we extend our heartfelt greetings to each of you. 30 years ago, a visionary dreamed of a university, not driven by politics or power, but envisioned a sanctuary for learning, dialogue, and fearless pursuit of knowledge. For him, the equation, a symbol of balance, logic, and understanding, was the truest foundation of progress. Today, we stand at the Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology. We honor that dream, and together, we take a bold and deliberate step toward realizing it. With open minds and shared purpose, we embark on the first steps towards world-class university, a place where ideas transcend borders, disciplines inspire action, and knowledge is a force of positive change. Let me present you a quote that perfectly captures the spirit of this occasion. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You must have heard of him, Lao Tzu. This conference is one of those first vital steps. Together, we are laying the groundwork for an institution that not only seeks growth, but strives to lead with innovation, collaboration, and unwavering commitment to research excellence. Professor Clarker, the first chancellor of the University of California, Berkeley, once said, "The university is not only a community of scholars, it is a community of learners, and in that learning, it must continuously reinvent itself." This quote reflects the essence of our gathering today. We are not only exchanging ideas today, we are challenging ourselves to envision and build a university that is globally respected, locally grounded, and intellectually vibrant. Over the course of this conference, we will engage with themes that are essential to this transformation: institutional excellence, international collaboration, dynamic research ecosystem, strategic partnership, stakeholder engagement, and the evolving role of higher education in a rapidly changing world. Thank you all for being part of this journey. Let us move forward with openness, curiosity, and a shared commitment to excellence. Your ideas, your questions, and your voices will shape the conversation and our collective future. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, now to officially begin our conference, it is my great pleasure to invite a guiding light for Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology, Mr. Bhanu Acharya, respected member of our Board of Trustees and former Auditor General of Nepal, to deliver his opening speech. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage. Thank you.
Namaskar. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology, let me welcome the Chief Guest, Chairperson of the University Grant Commission, Professor Devraj Adhikari, the speakers of the inaugural session, Professor Nampo Sho, Professor Suzanne Fortier, Professor Richard Miller, Mr. Bruce Flesner, Professor Sriram Ramakrishnan, Dr. Kenichi Ohashi, Professor Rajendra Joshi, Professor Suresh Manandar, let me also welcome other distinguished conference participants in person and online, and students of the Madan Bhandari University. Mr. Padam Jyoti, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees, was not able to welcome sincere greetings. Let us wish him a speedy recovery. I have been associated with Madan Bhandari University for 2 years as a trustee. Trusteeship is a new concept for universities in Nepal. I have great satisfaction in serving as a trustee. The Board of Trustees is the custodian of the university entrusted by the government. Among the key roles of the Board of Trustees are to appoint the president and support and supervise the work of the university management headed by the president. The clear line of accountability and the autonomy bestowed on the university by the Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology Act 2079 has enabled the university to operate very effectively. I am proud to note that an institution with highest degree of integrity and fairness is taking root in Nepal. I am sure its success can have profound impact on the development of other institutions in Nepal. The university has achieved remarkable success within a short span of time. Within 2 years of operation of the university under the Board of Trustees, it has been able to start PhD and a Master of Applied Science program. In 5 years, by building an excellent physical infrastructure and recruiting highly motivated and talented faculty members and administrative staff. The uniqueness of the university is that every faculty member and student is engaged in research directly relevant to growth of the economy and improvement of the well-being of the people. This approach is helping to forge collaboration between industry and communities and university. Industry and there are a number of lessons to be learned from the experience of the university. First, it is important for universities to realize that they exist to serve to the society, as opposed to tendency of universities to treat the interest of the country subordinate to the interest of the staff. Second, universities should not shy away from introducing innovative management practices, which have the potential for contributing to the development of the country, for the fear of backlash from the staff and being questions about the compliance from regulatory bodies from a very narrow angle. Third, the management to be capable of understanding reforms should be able to maintain the highest degree of integrity, be able to keep the interest of the university and the country supreme, and not be influenced by partisan political interests. Among innovations in management adopted by the university are time-based remuneration system for staff, fixed-term renewable contract for staff, generous financial assistance of students, amendment of the practices of the back paper examination, and qualifying for works contracts. Only those contractors who have the track record of completing contracts within the original contract period. These and other bold reforms are behind the success of the universities to this stage. The trustees with the leadership experience in world-class university has greatly contributed to the performance of the universities. Without their valuable inputs and support, it would not have been possible for the university to get out of the status quo prevailing in the country. The experience of university shows that changes are possible in Nepal if universities are determined to contribute to the development of the country and they are provided with requisite autonomy. I would like to suggest the policymakers to closely study the experience of MBUST for introducing critical reforms in higher education. The initial success of the university may give a false impression that the road ahead would be easy. It will not be. The greatest challenges are securing financing and protecting it from vested interest. I would like to appeal to all stakeholders to keenly watch the development of the university and support it in all possible ways. I would like to request the participants of the conference to carefully discuss about the experience of the university and suggest measures for meeting the challenges. At the end, I wish a grand success to this conference. I thank you all for your attention and attendance. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Acharya. That was right on time. We have 1 minute extra. Now we move to the keynote sessions. Are we ready? I hope Professor Suzanne Fortier is ready with our presentation. So this session brings together visionary minds who have shaped institutions and inspired generations. Let us now dive into a series of inspiring keynote addresses that capture the vision of building a world-class university. We have 4 keynote speeches will be presented online, and we are grateful to Nepal Research and Education Network, our partner, for their support in this regard. Now I would like to request Suzanne Fortier to present. In a time of drastic change, it is who inherit the future. The quote by Eric Hoffer emphasizes the importance of continuous learning and adaptability in navigating rapid societal shift. Now I invite Professor Suzanne Fortier, trustee of MBUST and former president of McGill University, to reflect on building a world-class university in a rapid changing world. Thank you.
Good morning, bonsoir. It's a pleasure to be with you, although I would prefer to be there in person, but I'm wishing you a very good conference. I will try to share my slides now. Let me see here. Yes, so the Madan Bandari University of Science and Technology is in its building phase. It's doing a very good job and it's moving quite rapidly. But as we all know, our world is changing very, very rapidly at the moment. There are many factors, geopolitical tensions. I don't need to say much about this. You all know them. Technological advancements, of course, climate change, values and principles. So we're in a very big period of change in the world. Early in the year 2000, we talked about a VUCA world, which meant that our world was volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous.
Professor Fortier, can you share a slide, please?
Yes, I did. I thought I did. Okay, I'll try again. Let me see here. I thought I did share it.
Can you, from there, do it, please? There you go.
Yes?
Yes,
Can
thank
you
you.
see the slide? Okay. So, rapidly changing world, many areas are changing very rapidly. Back early 2000, we talked about a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. I learned recently that actually this is no longer the case. It's passé. It's gotten worse. We're now in a BANI world, brittle, anxious, nonlinear, and incomprehensible. So this is a very difficult period that we're going through. I don't need to say much about the geopolitical tension. Technological advancement, I think we all see them, AI, personalized medicine, and so on. But I think the most important thing here that I want to point out is that we were not really ready for all of these changes. And in particular, we're not ready with their ethical challenges. And that's very worrisome. So we need to move much faster. Climate change, I just want to say a few words about this because many people still doubt that we have climate change, strangely enough. And I mentioned two examples that to me are very striking. In the UAE.
Thank you, Professor Fortier. Now I'd like to invite next, please welcome Professor Richard Miller, founding president of Olin College of Engineering, as he shares why he continues his association with Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology. Professor Miller, you can speak, please. The floor is yours.
Hello. I'm so pleased to be with you today. I wish I could be with you in person. Professor Joshi suggested this title, which is quite reflective. I've not given a talk like this before, and the topic of why I am so supportive of what you're doing has caused me to sit back and think about the state of the world, the state of education, and the state of your institution. I'm going to try to share my slides now, so let me see if the organizers can open the...
Thank you, Professor Miller. Now we move to the next presentation by Mr. Bruce Flesner. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest, as Benjamin Franklin once said. So next, Mr. Flesner introduces us to the transformative Everest Fund of Science and Technology, a dedicated endowment to support our initiative, Academic Excellence. Please welcome Mr. Bruce Flesner, Chairperson of the Everest Fund of Science and Technology, to introduce the Everest Funds of Commitment to the Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology. Mr. Flesner, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and it's a great privilege to have a chance to chat with everyone. I will try to be brief today.
Said this, I'd like to remind everyone, and it's our pleasure to announce that the sheer initiative of our president, we are able to raise 12.5 million up to now in our endowment fund with the other initiatives. So I'd like everyone to give them a big hand to our contributors. You can see their pictures and photos and all contributions. अब यो भन्दा भन्दै मैले यहाँहरूलाई पुनः आग्रह गरेँ त्यो इन्डोमेन्ट फन्डमा यहाँहरूले पनि सहयोग गरिदिनु होला त्यो इन्डोमेन्ट फन्ड बेसिकली विद्यार्थीहरूको स्टाइपेन्डको लागि हामी खर्च गर्छौं अरूमा त्यो प्रयोग हुँदैन हाम्रो उद्देश्य नै के छ भने विद्यार्थीले पढ्ने सँगसँगै उनीहरूको आफ्नो एउटा चाहिँ स्टाइपेन्डको मार्फत उनीहरूको रोजगारी चलोस्, जीविका चलोस्, ताकि उनीहरूलाई त्यसमा तनाव नहोस् भन्ने उद्देश्य हाम्रो रहेको हुनाले. So now I would like to request Professor Dilip, Dr. Professor Dilip Subba, NAST VC, to please come forward on the first row, please. And I would like to request our BOTs, Sangeeta Madam, Tiwari sir, please be on the first. It would be nice to be on the first row. And I would like to continue with Professor Sri Ramakrishna. I had a very pleasure listening to him yesterday when he was being interviewed by one of the leading newspaper, Republica. Kind of very fascinating to listen to him. So world-class institutions aren't born, they are built one bold step and one brilliant mind at a time. When I was listening, and this quote actually came to my mind yesterday. So what will it take for MBUST to succeed? Let us hear from Professor Sri Ramakrishna, trustee of Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology and former Vice President of National University of Singapore. Dr. Ramakrishna, floor is yours. Thank you.
Fellow Board of Trustees, stakeholders of MBUST, good morning. It gives me special feeling always as I was part of this extraordinary effort of building a world-class university in Nepal since the ideation with President Joshi several years ago. For the benefit of other trustees who are online, as well as those people participating in this conference online, I visited MBUST 2 days ago. I'm pleased to report there is very good progress has been made in terms of physical infrastructure, resourcing laboratories with world-class facilities. More importantly, when I chatted with students and faculty members, it clearly given me the impression they are highly motivated and contributing in their own way. The most underlying message I got from the students, they are more and more convinced this is their home, and they want to contribute to Nepal for its progress. It's a far departure from the previous students that I met in other universities. Clearly, the culture of MBUST is enabling that confidence in the students as well as faculty members. This is my observation. I like to report it, and I think it's very important we say it clearly for the broader audience. My lecture title, What It Takes for MBUST to Succeed. I have a lot of slides like a typical professor. Normally I give a full-scale presentation with all the slides because for any message we give, we need a lot more evidence. That's the reason I always prepare a full presentation. But I respect he only gives me 20 minutes, so I will stay within the 20 minutes so that other speakers can share their views with you. Okay. First one, 3 points I like to make. This is my own experience with the National University of Singapore. I've been there for the last 30 years. I was part of the journey from an unknown university to the world-class university. It's #1 in Asia, top 10 in the world. And one important aspect about National University of Singapore, we emphasize global mindset, but centered locally. In other words, MBUST is about thinking globally, but acting for the benefit of Nepal. So Singapore benefited a lot because of this approach by the National University of Singapore. That's first point. Second one, I do hope MBUST can succeed by promoting high-quality, interdisciplinary scientific research. NUS is now among the top 3 in the world for interdisciplinary science. So it's a massive achievement. For you to get an idea, there are 20,000 universities in the world. So to be among the top 3 is an achievement. The underpinning reason why I emphasize interdisciplinary approach for the traditional universities or the universities that have been there for a long time, very hard to achieve interdisciplinary culture. So whereas MBUST, being a new university, it has the opportunity to promote interdisciplinary way of pursuing scientific research and innovation. So that's point 2. Now, point 3 is about innovation. Wealth and well-being via innovations are addressing grand challenges. Previous MBUST trustees, previous speakers, they mentioned about changing world and the challenges faced by the humanity in recent times. So innovation should be an important core principle of MBUST. And again, I show from the benefit of what was done at our university. I was the director of NUS Enterprise 25 years ago. NUS Enterprise is basically to promote entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial thinking among the students and faculty members. And I'm glad to report more than 1,500 startups have been established. Among them, 10 of them achieved unicorn status. So that is a massive contribution to Singapore. So I believe as innovation as a core culture of MBUST make a huge difference to Nepal, as well as provide opportunities for young people, as well as faculty members to transfer their innovation into real-world products and improve the quality of life and economic growth. So those are basically the key 3 bullet points. From there, I would now go into more details. Here, I would go faster because the time is limited. So the question is, financing MBUST and international perspective, because no university, no organization can sustain without resources. And previously, the Everest Fund chair, he was talking about financing, donations. That's a very important aspect. So if you use a generative AI and you ask that question, how do you finance a university, or why should you finance it, you actually get a report like that. That's from the ChatGPT. So you see, you need resources to acquire land, build the buildings, and you need to provide research resources for the students and the faculty members. And then you need to house the faculty members, you need to house the staff, everything, ChatGPT. You know, I don't need to do anything. It's all listed by itself. And that was done with less than 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. It's unbelievable. And then is how the other costs are involved. And then even it talks about fundraising. ChatGPT tells you about the fundraising and its importance. It's amazing. Okay, the point is I need to do the value add. So here is what I say. There are helpful strategies, for example, preferential funding. So this would be a government decision that government of Nepal, probably the other stakeholders, should actively consider giving preferential funding to institutions like MBUST. It's necessary. Second one, matching funds. When donations are received, normally there must be an avenue for matching resources. In Singapore, we started with a 5:1, then later on it became 3:1, and later on it is 1:1. The reason is NUS became too successful in raising endowments. We have more than a $10 billion endowment fund in the last 10 years. But the principle is you need to motivate the process. So matching funds is a good idea. You may say Nepal is a developing country, it is a challenge, but that is about prioritizing your future. And there are ways to raise more investment through the government-to-government strategic arrangements. I won't name the countries. It's up to you because you have to think strategically. Other one is to promote entrepreneurship, the one I mentioned, more than 1,500 startups, more than 10 unicorns, and co-location of synergistic economic drivers. There are ways universities can benefit by co-location of certain economic activities. Again, it is subject to the situation of MBUST as well as other conditions here. Other one is to leverage national and global opportunities. I will give some examples for that. Okay, more important is we need to focus and we must accept mindset change. Very clear. No denial and accept that the world is changing. You may like to think the world is not changing, but Suzanne said the world is clearly changing. It's much different from what we want to believe. No one will look after you than yourself. As Nepal, as MBUST, as an individual. That's the reality. And the gap is widening because of the technology, because of the trade and flow of talents. These 3 T's are basically widening the gap around the world. Every country I've seen, the gap is widening. So focus on the outcomes, not the process. Yesterday, when the media interviewed me, they were asking me, how do you become a world-class university? I said, we need to free up the time of the leaders, faculty members, students at the university. You do that by reducing the red tape and focusing on the outcomes. So again, it's not easy to do, but that's what we have done at the National University of Singapore. And seize the opportunities in a turbulent world. The world is turbulent, but you can seize the opportunities. And redrawing of supply chains, value chains are happening. I think if I look at economic activity in Nepal, it is not clearly plugged into the global value chain, not strongly plugged into the supply chain. By doing so, I think your opportunities which would be much bigger, and you would actually realize a much faster economic growth as well as job creation. So the key is plug into the global supply chain and value chain. It's necessary. And competition for technology innovation-led growth. This is actually what is happening. If you notice, USA is spending close to $500 billion per year on scientific research. China is now spending almost $500 billion per year on scientific research. Together, they're actually spending $1 trillion. So previously we used to say global north and global south, but now we need to say global far east and global far west. That's where the theater of action. But you happen to be a neighbor. And in the future, India also will progress. So you are an excellent place. Both sides, your neighbors, are going to be, one is already an important player in science and technology. In the future, there will be another player. You are actually right in the middle. So you can seize the opportunities provided you want to. Okay, that's basically. I won't go into the detail, but why, if you want to understand why there is a conflict in the world, that's the information. There are lots of reasons. One important reason is 60% of the global trade is now through the exports. And some countries are losing. That's probably why they are putting so many restrictions and trade barriers. So there are also many other reasons. Okay, I wouldn't go into the detail. This is where I go faster. And Singapore, I need to promote a little bit. So that's back in 65 years ago, or 60 years ago. Singapore chose to be an open economy compared to 9 other economies in ASEAN. And even more recently, our Deputy Prime Minister said, we must remain open, well-connected. This is what I mean. Nepal should be part of the global supply chain, and you would have enormous opportunities for a country like Nepal. Okay, so these are just details. Singapore is now one of the best places for the world, especially for the rich people. Close to $10 billion invested last year itself in wealth funds. And wealth management is a huge opportunity. And for example, that is a multi-billion-dollar petrochemical industry. The whole industry is actually being transformed into a sustainable industry. Again, this is an opportunity for Nepal. There's the details, I wouldn't go into that. Okay. So other one is investing forward. Because there's only 5 minutes left, I'm going to go to the key points. Nepal, like other countries, developing countries, have to focus on how to invest in science and technology. That's about creating the future. And investing in future-ready training, and also building networks. Yesterday, I think today's newspaper, I see President Joshi said, MBUST is about having international cooperations and promoting innovation. Those, I believe, are very well thought through. So that's Singapore, how Singapore is investing in science and technology. I don't want to go into that, but I just want to show you this one. Just like Silicon Valley, Shenzhen in China is an entrepreneurial hub. And if you compare Shenzhen and Hong Kong, compared to Hong Kong, Shenzhen invests a lot of money on scientific research. That's why there's a high technology entrepreneurship in Shenzhen. So it's a key message for the stakeholders, leaders of Nepal. Even though it is challenging, but prioritizing in science and technology and investments is necessary. Otherwise, you won't be able to catch the gap or bridge the gap that is already happening because of the three things I mentioned before. So these are other details. Basically, how would you become a world-class university? Yesterday for the Republica newspaper, I was mentioning about international benchmarking. There's a lot of detail. I won't go into that. Okay. Yeah, so what I mean is seizing the opportunities. Recently I was visiting far north of China, and that's where they have a huge biomass. We are setting up a national facility there. What came to me is that crane is a symbol of a long life in China. So people want to live longer, right? But long life comes with lots of need for medical care. Nepal has a huge opportunity to be a player in the global value chain or supply chain of healthcare. You have many, many unique strengths you have. Second one, the aging population, in addition, there are obesity, diabetes, and many other medical problems require better solutions. And also, the world is changing. This is a genetically modified, recreated wolf. So yesterday, when I visited MBUST research facilities, I spoke to some of the researchers and students. You are beginning to do genetic engineering of certain seeds, agricultural seeds. So you are basically playing an important role by latching on to the cutting-edge technologies. And similarly, the America's brightest minds are walking away, that's fine. So this is the same issue, like what is happening right now in US. Many talented people, I know many of them, they are trying to go to other countries. Now, this is my last slide. By having a world-class university in Nepal, you would stem the outflow of talents. That's what happened to our university. So 25 years ago, a good proportion of Singaporeans, they used to go abroad. As our university, as well as 4 other universities, became well-known, many overseas Singaporeans came back to our university. And they actually began building laboratories and cutting-edge technologies. So by MBUST dreaming and transitioning towards a world-class university, I know that you have 1/3 of Nepali people living abroad, and it is a serious concern for Nepal. And one way for you to bring them back is to have an institution which you are proud of, and they're also happy to come back and explore opportunities and whatever knowledge, skills, connections they formed over the years in foreign countries, they can bring back those to you and help not only MBUST, Nepal to progress significantly. So in nutshell, MBUST should succeed by focusing on those three things. Globalization should be always in the mind while working for Nepal. Second one, interdisciplinary scientific research. Third one, innovation should be core of anything you do. If you do that, the best benefit is you bring back the brightest minds. You also provide confidence for the families as well as the current young generation. They would like to go to these universities instead of going abroad. And my last visit, which is 2 days ago, when I spoke to the students, it's clear to me they are motivated to stay within Nepal. That is already a good evidence. So I wish you all the best, and I am more and more delighted to continue to be part of your extraordinary effort. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ramakrishna. It is always a pleasure to listen to him. And just a note on his citations and H-index. He is one of the most cited academician. His H-index is 213. And he has 211,700 citations. So just imagine this kind of a academician is one of our board of trustees. He is touted by the most developed countries' universities to be on the board, and we have such a privilege and honor. Thank you, sir, for being with us. So now I'd like to request Dr. Kenichi Ohashi. We are pleased to welcome Dr. Kenichi Ohashi, former country director of the World Bank in Nepal, to share his insights on the relevance of MBUST for Nepal's development landscape. Dr. Ohashi, the floor is yours. Thank you. Dr. Ohashi, I think your mic is mute.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, now it's on.
Thank
I
you.
think. Sorry about that. Namaste, everybody in Kathmandu, and good morning or good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Ohashi. It is indeed, we appreciate your contribution in the Nepalese context. You were in the World Bank in Nepal for more than 6 years, help in the rural access and health and education. With this, we have finished the online presentation, so I'd like all of you to give them a big hand. If you would like to be there online, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll continue. So now I'd like to request our president, Professor Rajendra Joshi, to talk about the concept of the first steps towards the world class. A great university is not built on bricks, but in minds. It elevates, and communities it transforms. Now our visionary leader takes the stage. Please welcome the president of MBUST, Professor Rajendra Joshi, to present MBUST's first step towards world class. Let us take a moment to acknowledge that none of this dream, this gathering, this beginning would have been possible if Dr. Joshi had not taken the first bold step toward realizing the university. Thank you.
Good morning, good evening, and namaste, because people are in different time zones. Thank you very much. कता वही देखाउने माथिकोले गरे हो यो होइन र यो
Recording in progress.
Now, Professor Sriram, how do you like it? It was in 2016 in front of Hotel Himalaya. That's when the journey to world-class university began. Before that, we were pondering whether world-class university is possible in Nepal. Then we need to have appraisal internationally. Is that possible? Then Sriram flew to Kathmandu. The first question I asked to him was, am I crazy to propose having a world-class university in Nepal? He said, this is exactly what you should have been doing long time back. People are already doing all over the world, otherwise you will be left out. So from that day on, Sriram is with us. We communicate twice, thrice a day, that's right, not less. Everything he does, I know, and all information I have, I give to Professor Sriram. So this is the beginning. At the beginning, we had world-class university workshop. Then in August 2023, we had university launch workshop. Actually, the greatest challenge for starting our university was having an act which was right. Our dear Giriraj Mani Pokhrel had just landed at the right time. He was instrumental in formulating, then getting approved, Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology Act. I think without him, probably we would not have been there, and there would not have been a world-class university in Nepal. So then when we assembled in August 2003, we were all dreaming, promising a lot of things, this will happen, but nobody was sure what is going to happen after all. The good thing is to have act, but implementing act is equally difficult. So we promised, people betted on us, now we are back to report to you that world-class university is already on track. It can become world-class university, provided we get stakeholder support, like which we are already getting. I'm not saying that we are not getting stakeholder support, lot of support, but more support is needed. And to build your confidence that you should be supporting, we will give some instances of the progress which we have already made. There is doom and gloom and frustration all over Nepal, and Professor Sriram has rightly said, when 1/3 of the population do not trust Nepal and leaves Nepal, what can be worse than that? So we want to project ourselves as beacon of hope. And really we are making some changes, impact. It is very difficult to see 11, 12 interns coming to the university whom Professor Sriram has met and saying to him, we would like to stay in Nepal, we would like to contribute in Nepal, contrary to 6 million people already leaving Nepal for earning, for livelihood. Then we are saying that our mission is building prosperous and world-class, prosperous and just Nepal, because that's the simple thing that every Nepali wants. And that's the simple thing all are promising, but not delivering. So we took on ourselves challenge to try to deliver that by rallying stakeholders. And to be able to build that mission, deliver on that mission, we need to be a world-class university. Now, the attributes of a university which Nepalese all aspire is basically a university which makes tangible impact on the economy. And the slogan with all political parties is basically, you need to connect university with industry, university with livelihood, university with development. That's what we have been failing again and again with every university because of many problems which are real. And this is something we wish to deliver. Then producing job creators rather than job seekers. Very often we say that universities are producing unemployable graduates. And we would like to fix this problem. Then in terms of inputs, if we want to deliver on those two deliverables or outcomes or outputs, we need to attract committed and talented professors, committed and talented students. And then for all this to happen, we need enabling environment. Without environment, does not happen. To us, enabling environment is being free of corruption, being free of partisan politics. I am not saying that politics is not needed, because politicians are needed, politics is needed, because we need to vote the best politician into the parliament. So we need to know politics, but do not become aligned to particular political parties. If you do so, then you give up your academic profession. And in science, there is right and wrong. In politics, it's fuzzy. And if you become fuzzy in science, what is right and what is wrong, there is no science left. Now, in terms of making tangible impact on economic growth, the only way we can do is being selective, spreading into all disciplines. It's not possible. Many people come to me and said, why don't you start doing this? Why don't you start? I'm not pointing at Himadriji, we will talk about it later. But it's not possible to deal with all areas. This is one university, small university. It will deal with specific problems. Problems are listed. I am not going to pronounce them. Then another way of being selective is actually delivering such programs which do contribute to development of economy. In that sense, we have to focus on PhD and Masters of Applied Science, which is research-oriented. By this selection, we are giving a message that we will be working on development of technology, which will promote economic development. And to do so, very different from other universities, we are not going to ask students to submit proposals on what they want to do and take time to decide what research he or she will conduct. We have problems already charted out for the university. Every program has problems, every professor has problems. Then we will tell to students, these are the areas if you wish to work on, please join. Otherwise, please look for other universities. So on day one, we do provide list of projects and supervisors to every student. That's something very difficult to do. Then we have aligned our research and teaching with needs of the industry. During the last meeting, we signed our MOU with Larki Himal Jadbuti Udyog. In this conference, we are signing a MOU with IRS Mushroom Farm and others. Actually, we have started to work on real-life problems of those industries. And when we invited industry, they were very surprised. You don't ask for money, and you come to us and ask, what is your problem? Nobody has ever done this in Nepal. And when visit a mushroom farm, all they were saying, such and such Chinese person helps, such and such Chinese company helps, such and such Indian person here, Indian company helps. They never talk about Nepal. You are the first institution which came to visit us asking how we can serve you. So this is the way we are trying to promote our university in terms of contribution to the development of it. Now, producing job creators rather than job seekers. It's basically chicken and egg. When we started developing curriculum, our chair of biomaterials, engineering and science, professor from Toronto University asks, where will you find employment for your researchers? Because research is very technical, very high level, what you are trying to do. Where do you will get employment? If you want first industry to grow, before starting to produce people who can do research and support the industry, that industry will never come up. It's like saying that we will first have developed country, then world-class university. That debate we already have. Prosperous country does not get built without higher education, which delivers on research and world-class university. In similar fashion, you need to produce first researchers who can support industry. Only when you have plenty of researchers, we can support good industries, then industries will come. So the question is, we are not trying to find industries for which we fit our graduates. If we do so, then there are a lot of universities which do that. We produce new type of graduates, research-capable graduates, who can either establish their own industry or they will be looked after by many industries or potential industries. So basically, we are not producing graduates for the current institutions, current industry. We are producing our graduates for future. Now we will be having 3 graduates this winter, in November. Only 3 master's degree by research graduates, 1 in organic fertilizer development, 1 in kiwi, 1 in organic vegetable production and marketing. I asked 2 of them, the last 2. They said that we are going to be entrepreneur. Professor Siram was there. The kiwi graduate was saying, this is what I know, this is what exactly I do, and this has the market, this has demand in Nepal. Then organic vegetable, he has already started a proxy business by establishing community-supported agriculture, by supplying organic vegetables from Chitlang to Kathmandu with support of the university. And the third prospective graduate is still thinking whether she will continue with PhD or join industry or do self-employment. But there is still 6 months of time, so she will decide what she will do. So basically saying that we will not be producing unemployable graduates, although they are highly skilled graduates. Now in terms of committed and talented professors, if you go to any of the universities in Nepal, if you ask where do you work, most likely they will give a couple of business cards. And if you ask their loyalty, it will be very questionable. When I was campus chief or dean, I used to call my staff in various departments, various consultancies. I had a hard time getting to them because the secretary will block direct communication between the dean and employee. That's how Nepal is functioning. In our university, we gladly say that it's single job, fully dedicated. Whenever they are absent, they will simply get no salary, happily. No leaves, it's time-based payment. All engaged in research. Can you imagine any university where everyone is engaging? Then, what enables this to happen? Meritocracy. They know how they will get promoted. Input-based remuneration, good research infrastructure, and motivated students. If they didn't have motivated students, probably teachers could have done least. Our core research is done by students under the supervision of professors. Then distractors. Of course, our remuneration is not enough, but hardly we can do any substantial thing about that. We have lost one of the faculty member within a year, but I don't think others will leave. Now, in terms of talent, we have all PhD. We do not employ anything below PhD. This is most critical part of our success. Professor Sriram, he reconfirmed that this is the right thing to do. We have been lobbying this with every university, but no university agrees. Then, 9 research grants for 11 academic staff within a year. Can you imagine? Big or small, that does not matter. They are attracting grants already. Then all are publishing. We have difficulty in filling academic positions because we need very high caliber staff, and they are not in the market. Now research grants, I will not go into this. Then I am putting H index of faculty members. Some of our faculty members were a little lukewarm about that. Why do you demonstrating all these H index? This is the most important index in terms of credibility or success of faculty members. Publications alone is not enough, I know that. But that's the bottom line. H index 15 does not equal H index index, but that's the minimum you need to have. Then we will look at other additions. So I'm proudly saying that our threshold for professor is 25, which very few universities are adopting, not in Nepal, also in other countries. Associate professor is 15. We do have people with above thresholds of associate professor, and 2 are associate professors. Committed and bright students. Is there any doubt that our students are bright and committed? I don't doubt. Our students are smiling. They like to come to laboratories. They work all day. One of the students was staying till 1:30 in the morning, not sleeping in the laboratory. He reported it to Professor Sriram. We have to tell, go home, go home. They don't go home. And in terms of enrollment status, we have 34 students, now one more. People laugh at us. Why you have 33 students? We do not get more than these many students who are committed and talented. No point in having talented and non-committed, non-talented. So that's why we have few. And any students who enters Madan Bhandari University have to be best and deliver the results. Now, in terms of commitment, these are too many things. Only enabler we have at this stage is we have fee waivers and we have scholarship funded by the university. I call it by university, not by the government. Unless we are able to fund students, there is no research. There is no research-oriented university. So this is something government has to be very supportive of. If they dream about research, if they dream about developing science and technology, the best way to actually do it is by financing students. Now, this is our financial stance. We wanted to actually fund every student, provide stipend and full fee waiver, which we did for first 15 students. Our resources were not enough. So the current scheme is that we give scholarship and fee waiver for 2 students, total tuition fee waiver for 2 students, 100% fee waiver for students, 75% fee waiver for 2, 50% for 2, and 25% for. So every student gets in our university student financial assistance. And the cost of this assistance, we have already committed 20 million rupees, 2 crores for financing students, which is our own earned money. So unless we are able to probably earn money and raise funding, this research institution cannot stand. So I plead with the government as well as with philanthropic donors to support us so that our research endeavor, the endeavor of building world-class university can continue. And based on our estimates, based on the scheme I have presented, giving scholarship to all PhD students, giving scholarship to our master's degree students, not many, only 90 per year. Our cost only for scholarship will be 87 million rupees. 8 करोड वर्षको 8 करोड नभइकन 200 विद्यार्थी हामी पाल्न सक्दैनौँ पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट लेभलमा तर त्यो 8 करोड भने धेरै पैसा त होइन नि हामीलाई 10-12 अरब आयो भने if we get whole of 10-12 अरब billions which is not lot of money we will surely reach the goal of world class university. Now in terms of talents we recruit only highly qualified students. Free of participant politics, I do not need to probably explain this. Nobody talks about it in our university. We do not have any problem like this. Then free of corruption, everybody knows, whoever has worked with us, that there is not a single penny of corruption. So basically, I'm proud to report that we are on track. We have built a system whereby we can reach world-class university. It's not a matter of how. We know how to do it exactly. We do have stakeholders. We have people like Professor Sriram and our trustees, and you have seen many people who are supporting us. We can get there. The only thing probably between us and world-class status is being able to raise few tens of $millions or few Arab rupees, which is not very difficult, should not be. In the world of economics, not having money is not problem. Not having in place, the system is the problem, institution is the problem. So with this, I would basically urge everyone to start financing or supporting us. There are many ways to do it. I am not going to explain it. Simply, I am saying that we have raised by now 1 crore 25 lakhs of rupees, and partly that in endowment fund in Nepal, and partly through Everest Fund of Science and Technology. So I would like to actually ask each one of you to donate at least 1 rupee, not much, before leaving these premises. And of course, you can add later how much you want. So now we have raised resources from 351 people. Thank you very much. I'm stopping here. We have a great opportunity to build country as well as world-class university. We are very happy that there are so many people coming to our workshop. conference. And with that support, we are sure that we'll be able to deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. Indeed, an example of exemplary leadership. A dream is unfolding, as we can see. र थोपा थोपाले समुद्र बन्ने हो त्यस हुनाले यहाँहरू सबैलाई पुनः म हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु इन्डोमेन्ट फन्डमा यहाँहरूको सहयोगको अपेक्षा हामीले गरेका छौँ मेरो करिब 30 वर्षको व्यावसायिक करियरमा 25 वर्ष सरकारी सेवामा र हाल मदन भण्डारी विश्वविद्यालयमा आबद्ध रहेको मेरो अनुभव चाहिँ के छ भने नेपालमा कुनै पनि काम गर्नु पर्यो भने राजनैतिक प्रतिबद्धता बिना त्यो असम्भव हुन्छ अग्रगामी छलाङको लागि हामीलाई राजनैतिक प्रतिबद्धता चाहिन्छ र यस मानेमा मलाई लाग्छ हामी अभाग्य छौं कि हामीसँग यो प्रतिबद्धता आयो एक्टबाट हामी आयौं हैन सो लेजिस्लेसन इन एजुकेसन लेज द पाथ अफ जेनरेशनल चेन्ज त्यो कानुन बिना यो असम्भव छ टु स्पीक अन द मदन भण्डारी युनिभर्सिटी अफ साइन्स एन्ड टेक्नोलोजी एक्ट and its revolutionary impact on higher education, we now invite former Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Mr. Giriraj Mani Pokhrelji. The floor is yours.
Namaskar and a very good morning to all. I am profoundly honored to be here today at this international conference centered on Madan Bhandari College of Science and Innovation, taking the first steps towards becoming world class. This moment is not only a source of great pride for Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology, but also a powerful reflection of Nepal's growing aspirations in the domain of higher education. As I look back, I am reminded of a long and challenging journey, one that began nearly a decade ago, a journey rooted in our shared desire to bring about meaningful change in Nepal's education system. In 2015, during my first term as the Minister of Education, we proposed a bold initiative to establish a world-class university in Nepal. This effort was to be supported under the Higher Engineering Education Project with assistance from the Asian Development Bank. Unfortunately, despite promising early progress, the project could not move forward due to disagreements regarding the legal and institutional frameworks necessary for such an ambitious university to truly succeed. But that setback was not the end. It became a valuable lesson and ultimately a catalyst for a stronger second effort. In 2019, during my second term as Minister of Education, Science and Technology, we decided to proceed this time without external assistance. We drafted the Madan Bhandari College of Science and Innovation Bill with a clear and ambitious goal to create an institution free from the traditional governance models of Nepali universities. The bill proposed a dynamic governance structure designed to ensure institutional autonomy, academic freedom, and protection from undue political influence, qualities we believed were essential for a world-class university to thrive. Despite skepticism, I am proud to recall that in August 2022, the Madan Bhandari College of Science and Innovation Act 2079 was passed by Parliament, remarkably it preserved the original vision and structure we hope proposed. Today, education experts, both from Nepal and abroad, have praised this act as one of the most forward-looking and reformative educational framework in South Asia. In August 2023, I had the privilege of attending the college launch conference. Shortly thereafter, I visited the Chitlang campus to witness the progress firsthand. What I saw was both impressive and inspiring. In less than a year since the Act's passage, the college had already completed significant physical infrastructural development, established key administrative components, and assembled a dedicated team to launch academic progress. What struck me most was the institutional culture, a culture grounded in merit, free from partisanship, and focused on performance and long-term vision. It was a clear sign that the governance model we had envisioned was already making a real difference. Throughout my political and ministerial career, I have always seen education as a central pillar of national development. I am proud to have played a key role in establishing more than 6 universities across Nepal, including technical, open, and medical universities. तो पाटन स्वास्थ्य विज्ञान प्रतिष्ठान होस्, तो राप्ती स्वास्थ्य विज्ञान प्रतिष्ठान होस्, तो नेपाल खुला विश्वविद्यालय होस्, अथवा योगमाया आयुर्वेद विश्वविद्यालय होस्, यो विश्वविद्यालय र पछिल्लो बेलामा नेपाल विश्वविद्यालय पनि म क्याबिनेटसम्म लगेर त्यसलाई अगाडि बढाएको थिएँ. Each of these institutions was born from the belief that education must not be limited to the urban elite, but must reach the grassroots and empower every citizen. Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology is a continuation and evolution of that mission. What sets it apart is its commitment to industry-relevant education, applied research, global collaboration, and its innovative governance model. By aligning academic programs with the needs of our economy and society, Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology is creating a model of university-industry collaboration, something Nepal urgently needs to achieve sustainable economic growth. Today, in this conference, the presence of internationally respected education leaders and distinguished guests underscores the growing global confidence in our ability to build something truly exceptional in Nepal. I sincerely thank all of them for believing in our vision and for standing with us. Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology is more than just a university. It is a symbol of what Nepal can achieve when we have clarity of purpose, unity of effort, and strength of vision. Today, I call upon government institutions, private sector leaders, academic bodies, and our global partners to support this institution, not just as an academic center, but as a national project of transformation. To all Nepalese and non-resident Nepalese who care about the future of our youth, this is your opportunity to be part of something historic. As someone who has dedicated a lifetime to advocating for equitable, accessible, and highly quality education, I reaffirm my commitment today. I will continue to support Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology and other reform-oriented initiatives with all my energy and resources. In times of uncertainty, this university shines as a beacon of hope. It signals the arrival of new era in Nepal's higher education. Let us nurture and safeguard this remarkable institution for the future of our nation, prosperity of our people, and the dignity of our country. म विशेष गरेर यहाँ हुनुभएका हाम्रा नेपाली विद्वानहरूलाई के आग्रह गर्न चाहन्छु भनेदेखि अब अहिलेको चौथो औद्योगिक क्रान्ति कि पाँचौँ भन्ने संसारभरिको भएको बहसको ठिक खालको संश्लेषण तपाईहरुले गरिदिनुहुन्छ। तर अहिलेसम्म भएका औद्योगिक क्रान्तिबाट नेपालले जे लिनुपर्ने हो लिन सकेको छैन र हामी धेरै पछाडी छौँ, धेरै पछाडी। सम्भवतः दोस्रो औद्योगिक क्रान्तिका वरिपरिका उसमा हामी हिँडिराखेका छौँ। र एउटा म मन्त्री हुँदाखेरि युनेस्को र चिनिया सरकारले आयोजना गरेको एउटा सम्मेलनमा म गएको थिएँ। अर्को एउटा हायर एजुकेसनको सम्मेलनमा पनि म भाग लिएको थिएँ। अब उनीहरूले चाहिँ आउने इरालाई एआई इरा भनेर घोषणा गरिसके। अनि हाम्रो तयारी के छ? मलाई अलिकति धेरै मोटिभेट गरेको कुरा हामी के गरिराखेका छौँ भनेर प्रश्नहरू गरेका थिए। त्यसकारणले यतिखेर नेपाललाई अगाडि बढाउने हो भनेदेखि यो चलिरहेको परम्पराको यो धारमा हिँडेर यो जागिर खाने, नियुक्ति पाउने कामहरू त हुने भयो, तर देशको जो अवस्था छ त्यो चाहिँ परिवर्तन हुने मैले देख्दिनँ। त्यसकारणले एउटा त्यस्तो विश्वविद्यालयहरू हामीले निर्माण गरौँ भनेर पछिल्लो बेलामा धेरै विश्वविद्यालय बने भन्ने आलोचना त छन्। तर पुराना विश्वविद्यालयहरूले आजको आवश्यकताको रोल चाहिँ निर्वाह गर्न नसकेको कारणले म चाहिँ दुईपटक म मन्त्री भएँ शिक्षामा र मलाई के लाग्यो भन्दाखेरि वर्ल्ड क्लासका चाहिँ पछिल्लो विश्वको 25 वर्षमा जुन खालको चाहिँ अर्थतन्त्रमा रूपान्तरणकारी काम भए त्यहाँ विश्वविद्यालयहरूको भूमिका नै ज्यादै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ। त्यसै कारणले यस्ता विश्वविद्यालय जरुरी छन्। अहिले 30 जना विद्यार्थी छन् भन्ने प्रश्न मेरो लागि ठुलो कुरा छैन। मेरो लागि अब नयाँ ढङ्गले यी लागू हुन्छन् कि हुँदैनन् भन्ने कोणबाट सोचिराखेको छु र बोलाएको ठाउँमा म पुग्ने पनि कोसिस गर्छु। त्यसैले नेपाल has always been a consumer in past industrial revolutions. However, in this new era of revolution driven by ICT, ML, AI and IT, we have the opportunity to become producers and lead Nepal towards prosperity. To achieve this, we must support universities like Madan Bhandari University Science and Technology and nurture them to make the vision and dream that we all share a reality. Thank you. धन्यवाद, नमस्कार.
धन्यवाद अनरेबल गिरिराज मणि पोखरेलज्यू। मलाई कहिलेकाहीँ के लाग्छ भने यो स्टुडेन्टहरूलाई पढाउने सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ हाम्रो पालामा पनि उहाँ गिरिराज सर जस्तो चाहिँ मन्त्री बनिदिनुको भए राजनीतिक प्रतिबद्धता शिक्षामा भएको भए सायद भारतमा गएर पढ्नुपर्ने अवस्था हामीलाई हुने थिएन। प्रशान्त महासागरको बिचमा 5 वर्ष घर परिवारबाट छोडेर मेरो एक्लो मदरलाई छोडेर म 5 वर्ष बस्नुपर्ने थिएन जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। त्यस हुनाले हामी आशावादी छौँ आउँदा दिनहरू हाम्रा भाइ बहिनीहरूको लागि उपयुक्त वातावरण हामी तयार गर्नेछौँ। अब हामी अगाडि बढ्नेछौँ। मदन भण्डारी विश्वविद्यालयको इन्डस्ट्रीको पार्टनरसिपको सन्दर्भमा हामीले एउटा MOU साइन गर्नेछौँ। So we now move to the moment of strategic collaboration. An MOU will be signed between Aris Mushroom Farm and Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology, symbolizing our commitment to industry and academic partnership. I welcome Dr. Rajendra Joshi, President of Madan Bhandari University of Science and Technology, and Mr. Om Krishna Shrestha, proprietor of Aris Mushroom, on stage. This is definitely an historic moment we have done with the Larki Himal. and closer partnership with the industry. We do understand that academics needs to be closer to the industry and industry needs to be closer to the academic sector because they are separated apart by their own boundaries. So we're trying to blur that space in between us. ओम कृष्ण श्रेष्ठज्यू एरिस मसरुम फार्म चलाउनुहुन्छ राजेन्द्र सरले हामी सबै फ्याकल्टिजहरूलाई हुन त मेरो डिजिटल टेक्नोलोजी डिपार्टमेन्ट हो त्यही पनि मसरुम हेर्नु जानुपर्छ भनेर उहाँहरूले हामी सबैलाई चाहिँ लिएर जानुभएको थियो इन्डस्ट्रीमा उहाँको चाहिँ साइटमा त्यहाँ उहाँको कुरा सुन्दाखेरि कथाभन्दा धेरै मलाई व्यथा महसुस भएको थियो उहाँले गर्नुभएका स्ट्रगलहरू नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा मसरुमको क्षेत्रमा र जुन अटोमेसनको सेक्टर छ त्यसमा उहाँले भोग्नुभएका केही कथाहरू अवश्य छन् त्यो उहाँले अहिले भन्नुहुनेछ र तर पनि हाम्रो एउटा प्रतिबद्धता चाहिँ के छ भने आर्टिफिसियल इन्टेलिजेन्स डेटा साइन्स टेक्नोलोजीको प्रयोग गरेर एग्रिकल्चरलाई कृषिलाई अझै उत्थान गरौँ त्यसलाई चाहिँ इन्डस्ट्रीमा कन्भर्ट गरौँ एउटा बिजनेस मोडलमा लगिसकेपछि हामीले त्यसमा अटोमेसनको मार्फत आइओटीको मार्फत चाहिँ त्यसलाई बजारीकरण गरौँ भन्ने हाम्रो एउटा अभियान छ त्यसको लागि उहाँ पनि हामीसँग समझदारीमा आउनु भएको छ कोलाबोरेसन गरिराख्नु भएको छ मलाई लाग्छ उहाँले अहिले आफ्नो भाषणमा स्पिचमा केही कुराहरू यहाँ राख्नुहुनेछ गिभ देम अ बिग ह्यान्ड प्लिज थ्याङ्क यू Thank you. Now,